When people begin to parody a video or a commercial, it means something for that trend. These clips are making fun of this ad because it seems overdone. It feels generic, it feels somewhat random and unrelated, and just generally strung together to convey something. This is funny to us, but what other types of advertisements are trending? What other types of advertisements are reaching the point of being overdone and being viable to be made fun of? I think there are a few, and the first one I've kind of been noticing are these funny, ironic messaging videos, usually made to explain a product or service. Now, this format was made popular by Dollar Shave Club and has been gaining popularity through Sandwich Video. For example, their video about Slack. These types of videos use humor and wit and just dry humor to have the host talk about the product in a way that doesn't seem like he's pitching you something or he's trying to sell you the product. And the humor keeps you engaged in the video long enough to hear about the product. Another type of video that I think is trending recently are these documentary style social cause videos. These types of videos use this documentary style to film in a way that feels authentic and believable. They want to have the viewer believe that the company seems to really care about the cause that they're invested in. And lastly, I've talked before about Kickstarter videos commonly showing the same things, prototyping, founders talking about their product in my last video. But I mentioned these examples to talk about this idea of marketers taking a format and publishing this format so much that it becomes a trend that eventually feels overdone and dies out. Of course, when these videos and concepts were first made, it felt so refreshing and new. But it works so well that the format reaches the point of being overdone. This is because marketers ruin everything.
It's quite simple. Marketers ruin everything. Things come along in our world, radio, television, the internet, Facebook, things come along and they're for the people. And then marketers, much like myself, see that people's attention is there that long and that forever. Wherever there are people paying attention to something, marketers like myself want to ruin it.
But knowing that marketers ruin everything, how can we, as marketers, come up with new concepts, knowing that there are certain concepts that have worked? How can we be more strategic as marketers, knowing that other marketers ruin everything? And I think the key to this lies in this concept called market sophistication. Market sophistication is a term coined by Eugene Schwartz, one of the copywriting grandfathers, that talks about how each marketing angle goes through different phases.
Market sophistication basically says that there are 5 different levels of sophistication in terms of how your audience understands your product. The first level is basically when your product is completely new. The 5th level is when there's tons of competition. Everybody knows about that particular product category, and you really got to be different to get your product out. But in between level 1 and level 5, there's level 2, 3, and 4. And for each of these levels of sophistication, the public understanding of your product niche is different, and therefore you have to market differently. The mistake that most people make is that they treat all these levels as the same. Now let's look at Gillette. When Gillette first introduced the shaving razor, this is what their ad looked like. It simply said, "Shave yourself." This is how Gillette had to update their advertising. It was now the Gillette Safety razor. And now it's no longer about shave yourself because everyone was shaving. It's now shave yourself with the safety razor that will never give you a nick or a cut. In fact, it's so safe, you can shave your baby. So can you guess what Gillette did when other razor competitors came up with safety razors? Well, this is what Gillette did. It's borderline ridiculous. Their ads now pile on feature after feature after feature. Enlarged Lubristrip, micro comb, redesigned precision trimmer, thinner, finer blade edges, low resistance coating, battery powered razors. Now after the 5th stage, right, new markets open up. In the cigarette industry, the new market that opened up was filtered cigarettes, and then the whole process repeats itself. So now you start with, our cigarettes are filtered. Then when we get to market sophistication level 2, it's our filtered cigarettes taste good. When we get to 3, our cigarettes are filtered using a new Dynablade filter that not only makes the cigarette not put toxins in your body, but cleans up your car exhaust fumes too.
And to conclude, the best way to figure out how to position and message our product and to come up with a concept around that is to be aware of what all the marketing angles are, the current marketing trends that are ruined, and using your knowledge of marketplace sophistication to craft new angles.